In 2026, one of the most repeated phrases across TikTok comments, Reddit threads, and Vancouver group chats is surprisingly simple. There's nowhere to go unless you spend money. For many members of Generation Z in Vancouver, social life increasingly feels tied to consumerism. Want to hang out with friends? Buy a $9 coffee? Want to study somewhere? Purchase something first? Want to exist comfortably in public? Prepare to pay. What older generations once called hanging out now often feels like a subscription service to urban life. This feeling is not simply Gen Z complaining. It reflects larger economic, technological, and urban planning shifts affecting cities like Vancouver. Sociologist Ray Oldenburg described third places as informal public spaces outside of home and work where people build community. Cafes, libraries, parks, bookstores, recreation centers, and community gathering spots. Researchers increasingly warn that these spaces are disappearing or becoming commercialized. For Gen Z, this problem feels especially intense because they came of age during COVID-19 lockdowns, rising inflation, and a digital-first culture. Many young people in Vancouver spent formative years socializing online rather than physically in community spaces. By 2026, they entered adulthood only to discover that much of urban social life had become expensive, crowded, or transactional. The issue becomes obvious when looking at Vancouver's everyday social spaces. Cafes once served as relaxed meeting spots, but increasingly operate with limited seating, purchase expectations, or time restrictions. Nightlife has become financially inaccessible for many students and young workers, with club entry fees, drinks, transportation, and late-night food easily turning a simple outing into a $100 night. Even activities traditionally considered cheap, movies, bowling, concerts, or casual dining, now require careful budgeting for many young adults already struggling with rent and groceries. A 2025 article from Maclean's described how soaring housing prices have kept many Gen Z Canadians living at home far longer than previous generations. In Vancouver specifically, high rent prices force many young adults into small shared apartments or long commutes from suburbs like Surrey or Langley. As a result, socializing often requires additional transit costs, planning, and spending. Spontaneous meetups, the foundation of healthy social communities, become harder to maintain. Social media has intensified this pressure. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram constantly showcase aesthetically curated lifestyles, expensive brunches in Yaletown, Pilates classes in Kitsilano, ski trips to Whistler Blackcomb, and luxury wellness culture. Gen Z increasingly experiences public life through content culture, where activities feel valuable only if they are visually impressive or socially shareable. Ironically, many young people recognize this cycle while still feeling trapped inside it. Researchers studying Gen Z's online behavior argue that social interaction itself has become deeply tied to digital identity and group belonging. Discord servers, gaming communities, and TikTok comment sections increasingly function as modern third places because physical spaces either cost too much or no longer encourage genuine connection. A 2025 Stanford report noted that Gen Z craves closeness and friendship, but often hesitates to initiate social interaction in public settings. This explains why so many Vancouver-based TikToks go viral with themes like "I live here and have no friends," or "What do people even do besides spend money?" Reddit discussions from Vancouver communities regularly mention loneliness, financial exhaustion, and the difficulty of maintaining friendships in such an expensive city. Many young adults describe feeling socially isolated despite living in one of Canada's largest urban centers. At the same time, Gen Z is not simply giving up. Across Vancouver, new forms of low-cost community are emerging. Run clubs, public fitness groups, community basketball nights, beach volleyball meetups, book clubs, hiking collectives, and creative gatherings are becoming increasingly popular because they provide something modern urban life often lacks: affordable belonging. Researchers and urban planners increasingly argue that public parks, libraries, recreation centers, and hybrid community spaces are essential tools for combating youth loneliness. The irony is that Vancouver is still widely marketed online as a dream city for young people. Social media showcases mountain views, ocean sunsets, trendy cafes, and wellness culture. Yet behind the aesthetic lies a generation carefully calculating whether they can afford to participate in the city they live in. Even leisure has become economic. Ultimately, Gen Z's frustration is not just about money. It is about accessibility, spontaneity, and community. Young people are searching for spaces where they can exist without feeling pressured to constantly consume. In a city increasingly shaped by luxury branding, rising costs, and digital performance, many Gen Z Vancouverites are asking a simple question: where can we just be human together? And in 2026, that question feels more important than ever.